Since Overseer Hank is not available, 3 Vault dwellers, Reg McPhee, Woody Thomas, and Leslie Uggams, respectively, have chosen to assume the role of de facto leader. The new leaders decide to assign Norm, who has shown to be a mediocre employee in every role, the task of ministering to the raiders who have been imprisoned in one of the Vault's chambers after he makes indications that he hopes someone would also punish the raiders. Returning to the surface, Titus seemed to be having fun chasing after Thaddeus, considering that the latter was one of the men who had beaten him up at base. Maximus demands he complete the job on his own, despite Thaddeus' suggestion to attempt fixing his radio. As the conversation turns to Wilzig's location, Maximus describes what transpired back in Philly between him, the ghoul, and Lucy. At first, Thaddeus is shocked that he allowed the ghoul to survive. The Brotherhood obviously has no regard for people of their kind, but then he takes out a gadget that can follow the ghoul's radiation trail. This takes them to the somber location of Wilzig's corpse. They walk off in the footsteps of CX-404 and the ghoul after Maximus reassures his squire that the ghoul did it, and not Lucy. Back at the shoreline, Lucy is being tortured by the ghoul, who has her bound up and repeatedly dipping her in and out of the water as she attempts to talk him out of it. He eventually clarifies that he is not actually doing anything of the such, but rather luring the beast back to shore by using her as bait. His scheme succeeds, and the Gulper is fully exposed, a monstrous, axolotl-like creature with limbs that resemble humans and a terrifying gullet rimmed with grabbing fingers. The creature tries to consume Lucy right away and almost succeeds, but Lucy smacks it over the head with the ghoul's sack, and after CX-404 bites one of its enemies, the creature runs back beneath the waves. When the ghoul discovers that Lucy has destroyed the drug cache in his pack, he explodes with wrath. Aware that the Gulper digests real slow, he fastens a leash to the Vault dweller and sends her on a tangential mission, perhaps to replenish his supply of vials, with the intention of returning later, leaving CX-404 growling at the water. Maximus and Thaddeus take a rest somewhere else. His squire tells the story of life in the Brotherhood of Steel headquarters. It reveals that Thaddeus was once the one being beaten, and that he simply advised the other aspirants to target Maximus in order to blend in. There's also further problem in Vault 33. The 16 raiders imprisoned in their makeshift jail are to be rehabilitated, the new leaders declare during a gathering, especially since their numbers have decreased. When Norman recommends that they should murder them instead, he incites conflict at the meeting. When a Vault engineer tells the group that their water chip has been damaged and they will only have clean water for 2 more months, and that's not even taking into account their additional guests, things become worse. Most dwellers agree to assist in tutoring the prisoners, suggesting that they support the overseers. Well, except from Lucy's best pal Steph. She informs Norm that he's right to feel the way he does after losing her spouse in the raider attack, along with an eye. Furthermore, if Norm's father were around, she claims he would do the proper thing. Maximus and Thaddeus reach the lake back in the wasteland. They follow the radiation trail into the sea, straight into the ravenous Gulper's path. Maximus sends Thaddeus to the coast where he gets ready to fight. The beast swoops in to try to engulf Thaddeus after he potshots it from the coast. The monstrosity spits out everything it has consumed, including Wilzig's skull and one of Lucy's boots, after Maximus tries to rescue his new squire. As they stumble across the sand, Lucy asks the ghoul for some clean water, but he turns her down and makes fun of her for living up in the risky area. She queries how he got to be where he was and whether radiation played a role. The ghoul just utters something like that, before blasting away the face of the only remaining Vault Boy billboard in the area, which promotes the vaults. The final scene of the show has Cooper Howard back on set. Wearing his brand new Vault suit, he emerges from his trailer to meet with Vault Tech executives. It transpires that he is filming an ad for them. Cooper gives Vault Tech a thumbs up and a smile as he thanks them for their hard work and goes on to take some promo images for them.